An unsolved murder case in Washington Parish is getting a new look by the new sheriff. Good Monday evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike McDaniel. 40-year-old Donna Arceneaux was killed inside her home back in 2017. That case was handed off to state police, where it has sat until now. But thanks to a crime podcast and news coverage, it's being handed back over to the sheriff's office under a new administration. Here's part of my conversation with Sheriff Jason Smith. What does this case landing back at the sheriff's office really mean for Washington Parish?
Not that it means anything for Washington Parish. The comments that I've gotten so far are that people seem to be appreciative that we're living up to our responsibility. The case was given away for political reasons, and it really should never have been given to the state police. And so we're just trying to return it back to where it should always have been.
From an investigative standpoint, how does this help you?
In some ways, it's more difficult to do. It's something else that we have to take on. But in other ways, it's going to expose some of the things that we need to work on. I'm not an investigative expert by any stretch. I'm a director of resources, and now I'm comfortable, having been here 6 months, that we can direct the resources towards this case that I think it deserves. And of course, that's going to reveal some of our weaknesses as an organization, and we'll just work to correct those.
When you think about the time that has passed and you not being the sheriff whenever this crime happened, what is your confidence level moving forward with this?
I'm pretty confident. I mean, there's things that go on before we take over anything, and some of it you can control, some of it you can't control, but we're really all kind of dealing with consequences of things that have gone on before, regardless of the line of work that we're in. I'm still confident, based off of what I've seen of the case file, that this is a solvable case. It's something that we can do, and we're going to take a crack at it.
Do you think a lot of folks in the community maybe have kind of given up in a sense and found a new hope now that you've become sheriff and put a new light on it?
I don't know if it has anything to do with me becoming sheriff. It's kind of a lot of things all pointing to the same direction. You can definitely feel a sense of energy in Washington Parish. And I don't know that it has anything to do with me being sheriff. It's just a bunch of things that are all moving in the same direction. The podcast brought attention to this case specifically, and it's just the right time. It's the right time to bring it back to the sheriff's office and try to get it solved.
And with this case now back in your hands, what are the next steps for you guys?
We're going through the case file. We're getting set up from an organizational standpoint. And then we're going to identify any deficiencies or anything that needs to be corrected so that we can take it, try to fix it.
And the ultimate goal here is what?
The ultimate goal is some sort of resolution, whether there's an indictment, whether there's, if we can't solve it, I'll have a press conference that explains why we can't move it forward. I think that's probably what a lot of people, they misunderstand, is that just because something sounds good doesn't mean that it meets a legal threshold to prove it. And you may know, and using air quotes, you may know exactly what happened, but if you can't prove it, our system is set up so that you can't find somebody guilty. And that's really how we want it to be. We don't want government to overstep their bounds and start convicting people based off of things that they know when they have to prove things. So we have to be able to prove our case.